Let me tell you why you're here.
You are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage. Born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind.
That was my last dose of nicotine ever.
Oh, so doggone easy. Doggone easy, doggone easy. It seems so easy. Seems so easy, seems so easy, seems so easy. Where you're concerned, my heart has learned.
Today is my 5th day without taking in nicotine. You would think that escaping a 38-year struggle with nicotine addiction would be the headline, right? But that's secondary. There's a more powerful underlying message, and that is that there is an easy way out, and there's nothing wrong with taking it. We have no shortage of reminders that life is hard. We know there's no easy way out. That 7-minute abs is a pipe dream. We know that anything worth doing in life is hard, right? Not so quickly. While it's true, you're not gonna get 6-pack abs from 7 minutes a day, but the problem is not that it's too easy. The problem is it doesn't work. If we find different ways to get 6-pack abs, some are gonna be harder than others. So if we find the easiest way to get 6-pack abs, that is the easy way. So I'm going to give you an overview of how I quit smoking using Alan Carr's The Easy Way. But I need to stress that if you want to quit smoking or escape some other form of nicotine addiction or really change anything in your life, this video will probably not be enough. I'm going to explain the easy way, but the book actually takes you through the process. And it's an iterative process, and repetition is a part of it. Effectively, what we're doing is we're reversing brainwashing. And the way we reverse brainwashing is through the application of logic and facts. As we take on new information and we process that information through a certain logical process, we can rewire our brain. We can experience that neuroplasticity and we can change our beliefs. Nicotine is extremely addictive, but the withdrawal symptoms are extremely mild, almost imperceptible. Nicotine withdrawal is like hunger, and it's a mild hunger. There is no pleasure in smoking or other nicotine use. What we perceive as pleasure is actually partial and temporary relief from nicotine withdrawal. The perceived pleasure we get from using nicotine is like wearing tight shoes for the pleasure of taking them off. It's like if someone gives you $10 and then you find out that they had stolen $100 from you. The physical symptoms that we normally associate with nicotine withdrawal are actually caused by our psychological dependence on certain ideas, lies, myths. These myths are promoted by the tobacco industry, the pharmaceutical industry, including the anti-smoking industry. So what happens when we abstain from nicotine while we still hold these beliefs is that mild nicotine withdrawal triggers the massive psychological response, and that is what causes the most painful parts of withdrawal. I'm not going to go through all the lies and myths that are attached to nicotine addiction, but again, if you want to use this to help your own life, you can't skip any of these parts. Even the myths that I had dispensed with over the years, by reviewing them, I found that I still partially believed some of them. But absolutely, the one myth that I held on to that kept me locked in this prison of nicotine addiction was the myth, the lie that it's hard to quit. It's not. It actually is easy. One way to see this process is that what we're doing here is we are breaking the psychological addiction before approaching the physical addiction. Like we said, nicotine withdrawal is extremely mild. So if we can break the psychological addiction, if we can unwind the brainwashing without experiencing any nicotine withdrawals, that's why the book encourages you to continue your current nicotine use. Do not slow down smoking or however you use nicotine while you go through the book. The last chapter of the book is when you take your last nicotine. You guys saw this at the beginning of the video. A couple items we should dispense with are that Substitution does not work. Willpower does not work. Substitution only reinforces the myth that it's hard to quit. If you substitute chewing gum for nicotine, you are holding on to this idea that you're dependent and you're just substituting bubble gum for nicotine. That doesn't help us. We need to come to the realization that nicotine and smoking does absolutely nothing for us. The only thing it does is provide temporary and partial relief from the addiction. Willpower does not work. Willpower only works when there are two wills in conflict. There are no two wills in conflict. It's only your will and your relationship to nicotine. When we finally reverse the brainwashing, it becomes crystal clear that nicotine and any form of intake of it does absolutely nothing for us. Once we are absolutely clear about this, it's easy. So I'm happy to say that I quit smoking using Alan Carr's Easy Way. In an upcoming episode, we're going to take Alan Carr's Easy Way and The Power of Habit and combine these two books and see what we come out with. The very next full-length episode is entitled Fitness from the Foot Up. This is going to be a foundational video, and it really resets the entire Hacking Ultra project. The main episode after that will be on nutrition, eating for metabolism. I really appreciate you guys coming along for this journey, and I'll see you in the next one.
I Quit with Alan Carr's Easy Way. Robert Pattinson, Dave Stewart, Eurythmics, Joss Stone, Patricia Arquette, Mark Knopfler, Gerard Butler, David Cameron, former UK Prime Minister, Bruce Oldfield, Stuart Copeland, The Police, Roland Mouret, Ruby Wax, Sean Bean, Stefano Gabbana,
Jason Mraz, Ashton Kutcher, Ellen DeGeneres, Lou Reed, Nikki Glazer, Richard Branson, Michael Smith.
So doggone easy. Doggone easy, doggone easy. It seems so easy. Seems so easy, seems so easy, seems so easy. Where you're concerned.